So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's do better_fitness, and that's for my work one, and our car one is watch_German_cars. Okay, please enjoy the video. So today we're going to talk about the Polestar 3. As tested in the UK, this was 90,000 British pounds. DC can charge at 350 kilowatts, and AC can charge at 22 kilowatts, which is really good. Unfortunately, in the US, which I'm also from, it doesn't do the same figure. So it's about 88,000 US dollars. DC can only charge to 250 if you can find something that will charge at the speed. And on AC, it's only charging at 11 kilowatts, which is kind of unfortunate. This is a little bit slower than in the UK, where we spend probably like half our time. So just like always, the overall rating is going to be different depending on how you look at it. So there's perfect conditions and not perfect conditions. There's whether you're using the climate control or not. So let's just say you're using the range mode. So WLTP are saying that you can get 349 miles, which is really good. Unfortunately, most likely you will not be able to reach this. I know in my little time with this vehicle, I was not able to get to this. So they're saying in range mode, if you're going 90 kilometers an hour, that is equivalent to 369 miles overall for your range. And if you were doing 120 kilometers per hour in perfect conditions, no climate control, you should be able to see 302 miles. And if you do use the climate control, this is still WLTP, by the way. So use 2 kilowatt heating, you're going to be able to get 285 miles. And if you had a top trim vehicle, you would only get 281 miles. But if you look at the EPA cycle, they're only showing you 279 miles, and that is with the long range performance, because that's what we're talking about today. Everybody knows I just like the fast ones, but I can make a video if anybody wants to see with one of the normal ones as well. So during the WLTP official test cycle, they get 349 miles. And in the top trim, they get 343 miles. So this works out to a consumption of 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour and 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So now for the same test using heating or cooling, which works out to be 2 kilowatts, the range is actually going to change quite a bit. So it's going to actually change down to 285 miles, and for the top trim, 281 miles. And that works out to be about 18% reduction in range. So my favorite, and hopefully yours, the real world range estimates. Obviously these are going to be what we actually care about. So at 90 kilometers an hour, which is 56 miles per hour, in perfect conditions, you're only going to get 369 miles, which works out to be 3.5 miles to a kilowatt hour. And if you decided to use heating or air conditioning, so at the same 56 miles per hour, you only get 329 miles range, and that works out to be 3.1 miles to a kilowatt hour. And if you decided to go on the freeway in America or motorway in England, that's 75 miles per hour probably you're going to be doing in perfect conditions. You're only going to get 302 miles, and that is 2.8 miles to a kilowatt hour. Still pretty good, honestly. If you decided to use the heating and you're doing 75 miles per hour, you're only going to get 281 miles of range, and that works out to be 2.6 miles to a kilowatt hour. So from my experience, our Mercedes EQC 400, which I still have as the daily, honestly, I haven't found anything for its price range that is better than it. We get about 2.6 miles to a kilowatt, and we're using the climate control always, the preconditioning, and driving about those kind of speeds. But honestly, the Polestar is really good. And I wanted to make a good video on Polestar because unfortunately in China, they've just had a video come out saying that their dealers have been taking off the audio speakers and stuff and installing knockoffs to cut corners and save the dealers themselves money. So I thought this would be a good time to show that these are really good cars. And honestly, I really wanted to get the Polestar 3 as my new daily. But unfortunately, when we borrowed one, the interior was just wearing not nicely too fast. So as you can see on the graph, from 0 to 90, you're always over 50 kilowatts on this vehicle, which is pretty amazing, honestly. You are going to see a peak at 250 kilowatts, and that is going to be at 20%, and it's going to stay there until 21%. At 22%, it does tail off down to 242, and then it's just going to go down from there. But it does stay above 200 until you get to 30%. And then it's going to stay above 150 kilowatts. until you get to 51%, which is really amazing. So this thing does charge very fast, and it is very comfortable. If you watch my other reviews, I do think it's a little underpowered. You do have to drive it because of the clutch backs in sport mode, and then it's perfectly amazing on the road. If you put it in eco or comfort, it's just a little sluggish to my liking, unfortunately. Okay, as you can see, the charge times are here. You guys, any other questions about it? Let me know. And do watch other videos. I do talk about why we didn't actually buy one after we reviewed it. Okay, please give me a like and a follow, and I really would appreciate if you guys would share my videos. All right, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.